Hello everyone, this is Tina from Tina's Workshop, and I am currently in Louisiana. It's beautiful out there, but it's also very cold. The first full day we were here was 78 degrees. The next day, the high was like 42. It is currently 39 degrees. And it says, oh, go back up. It feels like 30. And there are some of you that are in much colder areas, but I like the warmth. I'm a fiber artist, so I have lots of hats and scarves and things like that that I never use, but they're all in California. I didn't bring any with me. Now, I have things to keep me warm. I am layered. I have on a shirt and a long sleeve shirt and a tank top underneath. And I have a flannel I'm gonna put on, and I have a wool sweater in the car. I even have pants under my pants. So I'm gonna stay warm. I have mittens in the car, but I have no hat and scarf. And yesterday when I was out in it, the hat wasn't so bad, but my neck was so cold because my sweater doesn't have a collar that comes up or anything. My nose was cold too, but don't think I'm gonna put a snoot on my nose. But I'm like, okay, what can I do about this? I could go buy a hat and scarf, but when I make them, it's just like, it's so hard to go buy those things. But I'm thinking maybe if I go buy some yarn, I love excuses to buy yarn, and a crochet hook, and I get like a nice thick bulky yarn that would work up really fast, maybe I could make myself a hat and a cowl that would keep me nice and warm. And I made it myself, so, and bonus, I can make this quick and easy video for you guys. So I'm thinking I might do that. So I'm filming this while still in our little Airbnb here and contemplating it. So I figure I might as well at least record an intro for it if I decide to do it. And I told my husband, I said, I want to go by Hobby Lobby because we don't usually get to go by Hobby Lobby at home. So I said, I want to go by Hobby Lobby. So if I'm already going to be going there, maybe I can pick up some stuff and do this. So we'll see, and I will take you guys along for the ride if I decide to do it, and I think I'm going to probably do it. So you'll probably be going along for the ride. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm at Hobby Lobby. I'm checking out the bulky yarns because they work a little faster. And this one is really luscious, and it's a 6. And this one is thicker and nice and soft, and also a 6. Then you have these ones down here that say 6, and they're even thicker, which does not make sense to me. And this one says it needs like a PQ hook. This one says it needs an L hook. And that one that's even thinner says it needs an M hook. So none of that quite makes sense, but I'm thinking I might go with this one. A nice neutral color. It's the in-between size. And then let's see what this one is. This one is also a 6, and it says it needs an MN 13. And it looks a little bit thinner than this one. I don't know where people get their size ideas from. Now this one is a 5. But oh my gosh, is it soft. And look at the halo on it. But I think I want the thicker because I wanted this to go fast. Okay, so this one recommends an L. So let's see what they have here. Ooh, we got ergonomic hooks. Yay, I like my ergonomic. So we got these ones by Yarnology, and these ones by Yarnology. See, those are $2.99. These are $1.99. Both prices are really good. Oh, some are $1.99, some are a little more, but still good prices. Let's see if we can find an L. Okay, so these are both L's. Let's see which one I would prefer. $2.29, $3.99. Price either way is good. So, okay, so the neck on the multicolor one is a little bit shorter, and I do like the shorter necks, so I'm thinking I might go for that one. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this yarn and this hook. Okay, so I ended up with the Yarnology Luxury Crochet hook. That's that multicolor one, and it has the shorter neck, and I like the short necks, so I got that. And then I got this Yarn Bee Dream Supreme, and it's a number 6. Ooh, there. Color named Weathered Cedar, but I thought it would be a more neutral color that, depending on, no matter what I had with me, I could wear. So we are gonna go with that. I'm gonna take this off just because, yeah, I've kind of got it coming apart, so I think I'm just gonna go from the outside since that was falling off. And we are going to do this super simple. I actually have measuring tape with me. So I have a few different things with me, but we're gonna pretend like I don't and use the bare minimum so that we wouldn't have to buy a bunch of things. I'm gonna use my scissors. I have scissors. I'm gonna use my scissors. I could break it or something else, but I'm gonna use the scissors. But to figure out the size for my head, because I don't have my little charts or anything else, and like I said, I do have the measuring tape, but we're gonna pretend like I don't. So I'm gonna take a piece of yarn and I'm gonna loosely, I don't like really tight hats, so I'm gonna go loose around my head, and I'm gonna cut that. And I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cut that, and I'm gonna use that so that I can go lay it down on my piece, and when I get my circle to this size, that's when I'm gonna start going down. So we got no pattern, no nothing. We're just gonna go for this. So I'm gonna start with a magic loop, and we're gonna work over our ends so that we have less to weave in. And I'm gonna do double crochet because, again, we want this super simple. So I guess I should show you that in case you don't know. So when I do my magic loop, I literally, you can see I literally make a loop like that, and I'm going to insert my hook into that. So I'm holding the two ends with this finger. I'm going to insert, and I'm going to pull through, and I'm grabbing the ends. I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to turn this around so that the tail is on the other side. Now I'm going to be able to work over that tail, and it's not going to come apart as easily. So I'm going to double crochet, and since we're doing double crochet, we're going to do 12, including this chain. We're going to have 12 in this ring, so we're going to double crochet 12. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now we got 12. Take my hook out so I can show you. So we got 12, and you can see where our tail is here. And we're gonna pull on that tail, pull it nice and tight, and now we can slip stitch right into here and close that off, and then we'll chain and we'll go up, and then we're going to do 2 in each all the way around on the next row. And excuse my sniffles, I'm still getting over that surgery, and it's just, some of that's just kind of awkward. Helps if I put my hook in the right place first. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch right there. So we've joined. We're going to chain 2, and then right in at the base we're going to do another double crochet, and then we are going to work 2 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So here's the first 2, how they look. So there's our chain up and do a double crochet there, and then here's another double crochet, and we're going to do that all the way around and join back at the first one. Okay, so I'm back almost at the beginning, and if you get to here and you're not sure whether you've done the amount that you need or not, my little trick to figuring this out, you could count all these stitches because you would have 24 now. But even easier yet is you can really easily, because you've put 2 into here, you can see the base of that stitch where you worked into. So I will count those little holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've only done 11, so I do need to work into that hole right there, which will be my 12. And I've found over the years that's the easiest way. You're counting less stitches because you're counting how many you had in your previous row. So 2 there, and then I'm going to slip stitch. So now 2 rounds. We're going to, I know that's still too small, so I'm not even measuring yet. Okay, so now this row is going to be 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 1 in the next stitch, and you're going to do that all the way around. So each row you work out, you're changing how many singles you have. So in this row we had no singles. It's just double, 2 stitches in each row. I mean, in each stitch. In this one, we're going to have 1 single in between each one of the doubles, if that makes sense. So 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2, 1. In our next row, we'll increase that again, and we'll have 2. So it'll be 2 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1, 1. And you keep doing that out. That is what gives you a nice flat circle. So this one we are doing 2 and then 1. So I did my chain up and my double crochet. Next one I'm going to do 1 double crochet. Next one will be 2 double crochet. The next one is 1 double crochet. And so that's the way we're going to go all the way around, and we're going to do that all the way around back to the beginning, and we're going to slip stitch. Okay, so we are back and we joined, and now we're going to check our measurement. So we're going to take this piece of yarn and basically lay it around the edge. It's easier if you do this on a flat surface, but I'm trying to show you. And we're going to put this around the edge and see where it comes to. Okay, I'm going to hold that one there because I know that I've got that along it. And hold this one here, Okay, so this is just, if you can see, I've got that much of an overlap right here. So technically I need this hat to just come, I'm guessing, a little bit wider. So I am not going to do a full increase round. I've done stuff like this before. And what I'm going to do on this next row, for me, now this is going to depend on the size of your hat, but for me, I'm going to do an increase here. I'm going to do one increase here, one here, and one here, which is going to bring that size out just a little bit. So, there's my hook. So I'm going to do my chain 2, and I'm going to do another one in that same stitch. And then I'm going to work around to here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go about to the 8th stitch here, and I'm going to do 2, and then I'm going to do the same thing again and again. And the rest, I'm going to just do 1 double crochet. So I'm going to do 1 double crochet, and again, this is for me, in 8 stitches. I'm kind of glad I did this though, because then it gives you an idea, because I could have stopped there, but if I'd done a whole nother increase row, this hat would have been way too big. So by only adding those few, knowing that I only need that little bit of extra space. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I know you guys all want to hear me count. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to do an increase here. So 2 double crochet right there. Oop. Okay, so I had the 2 that I started with, and then it might be easier for you to see it if you're seeing the front side. So there's the 2 where I started, and then I did 8 where there's just 1 in a stitch, and now I've just done 2 in a stitch. And I'm going to do that same thing again. I'm going to do 8, and I'm going to work 1, and I'm going to do 8, and I'm going to work 1, and then I'm just going to come back to this end and join. Okay? Okay, so I guessed when I counted 8 and then stitch and then 8, that worked out perfect. Okay, so now that I've done my tiny increase, my yarn, I just laid it down around the edges, and look at that. There's where it comes together. So that was the perfect amount of increase that I needed. Okay, so now you can actually see it's starting to curl already because we only did a few increases there. So now as we're working the side, so we're not doing any more increases, we're just gonna work 1 double crochet in each stitch around, join, chain up, keep doing that until we have our length. But we're working with what we have. So there's 2 options. 1, you can keep trying it on as you're working till you get it to the length you want. The other would be take that string that we had already cut, put it at the top of your head, and bring it down to where you want your hat to be sitting, and then cut that. So is that the piece I just cut, or is it the other piece? Oh, which piece I just cut? It's this one. Oh, it was this one. Wow, that seems short. Oh no, it was that one. Okay, so we have this. So now what we can do as we work it, you fold this in half, and then you're gonna lay this here, and you're gonna work until you get to the bottom of this piece of yarn. So I'm gonna say, this right here is the base of what I have right now. If I take that and I pull it up and lay this here, I'm gonna say I have 4 more rows to go to be at the length that I want it to be. Okay? Oh, and since we worked over this, you could actually go ahead and cut that right now if it's bothering you and it's in your way. If you are not working on the fly like I am, and you have a yarn needle, which I do, you could weave that in. And if you don't, because we worked over the end, you can snip it. And if you're still worried about it coming out, use your crochet hook, go in the opposite direction it just came, and stick your hook right under a couple of those stitches. And a little tight, but you can do it. I've done this before. We're gonna go just under these few stitches, but we're gonna come over at least one and then pull that right back through. That's gonna lock it in place right there. So I'm gonna give it another pull, make sure it's all nice and tight. And then I can snip this and it's out of my way. So as not to confuse it though, with the other pieces I have sitting here, I think I need to set them down here. And there's my headpiece. Okay, we're good now. Oh, I need that. Okay, so now that's not in our way. We're back up here. We're gonna chain 2 and we're gonna keep, we're not going to the base. So this time we're not working into that one. We are automatically going to this next one. Okay, so we chain 2, we're gonna work in that next stitch and do a double crochet, and we're gonna do that all the way around. When we get back to the beginning, we're gonna join it and we're gonna chain 2, and we're gonna do the exact same thing in the next row and in the next row. And like I said, I think I should need 4 more rows to get to the length that I want. And then I will show you how to finish it off. So and if it's not right, I'm still gonna come back at 4 rows, but I'm not gonna make you watch me crochet 4 rows. So I will be back for you in a second. For me, hopefully just a few minutes, because this is a really fast and easy way to crochet. My husband said, oh, it's fast and easy. How long is it gonna take you? Like what, a couple days? I'm like, I sure hope not. I wanna be able to wear it today so I can stay warm outside because it's in the 30s. Okay, enough talking. I will be back. Okay, so I got 4 more rows down, so I should have 8 rows now total, because I started, I had 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this is where I'm at. That's not big enough yet, I can tell. Just by looking at it, I can tell. But we're gonna test it with our string. So we're gonna put that at the tip and work our way down, and yeah, even that shows we need it longer. Now that's telling me 1 more row. I'm thinking 1 or 2 more rows. I'm thinking probably 2, but we'll find out. So I'm gonna keep going and add another row on, and I'll check it again. And if I need to, then I'll add another row on, and we'll see where we get. Okay, I got 2 more rows done, and this is how our hat looks now. So I'm gonna check again from here down, and look at that. We're like right at the end of that. So I am going to test it. Now, my hair's been in a messy bun all night, so it's super frizzy, which is why it went back up in a messy bun. So it's not gonna be a pretty thing, but I'm gonna try this on for you guys. So here we go. Look at that, you guys. It's perfect. That's exactly where I wanted it. This fit is perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to finish it off. So let's get the hair back in the messy bun for now. And okay, so we're at the end, and we are going to, so I've got a loop here and I'm going to snip here, and it looks short, but we've got all this space of the loop. And if you've been with me before, you know I have a way of finishing these off so that it's seamless, and we don't have our needle, but we can still do that. So instead of pulling that end through the loop like we so often do, we're gonna take that loop and we're gonna pull the loop out. Okay, so now you can see there's like, it's almost like a little hinge look right there. Okay, so we're gonna look at the top, and we have these little V's. And so this is where our stitch is, and we're gonna go into this next V right here. And I'm gonna go from back to front, right underneath the V. And I'm gonna grab this yarn and pull it through. Okay, so now if you look where that yarn is coming up from, you'll see another little V. And we're gonna go underneath that V from the back, and we're gonna grab that yarn and we're gonna pull it right down through that V. Oh, come on. So now we've made another V. So we've finished that off, and it's got a nice smooth edge. If you do it the other way, you end up with a little knot there, and you can see that end. But by doing this, we have a nice smooth edge there. Then we're gonna take, because again, we're not using a needle. We're gonna go on down in the inside here, and we're just gonna find a nice spot that we like. Okay, I'm gonna go to the base of those stitches there, and I'm gonna stick my hook underneath, right through the center of a few of them, right back to where that tail is. We're gonna grab the tail, and we're gonna pull it down through those, okay? So we could stop there, but we wanna lock things in. So now we're gonna, here's where it comes out, and I'm gonna go back in those stitches from the other way. And when I get to that stitch, I'm only gonna pick up one loop of it because we wanna go over a loop. Otherwise, we're not locking anything in. We're gonna pull it back through. And now we've locked that in. So now we can snip that off. And our hat is done, and we're good to go. How about that? Is that not the easiest hat ever? Easiest hat ever. I mean, that took us like no time. I mean, I've got 22 minutes up here, and then I paused it doing a few rows. I'm gonna say about a half hour, maybe, to do that. So that's done, and now we're gonna do our scarf. And there's a reason we did our hat first before our scarf. Where did my yarn go? There it is. Okay, so there's how much yarn we have left. And we know we need a certain amount for the hat. The scarf doesn't matter as much. So we are going to make our scarf with what's left here. And we can stop at any point, but we can keep going until we run out. And there's two different things. You could do a cowl or you could do a scarf. And I'm going to honestly probably do a cowl, but there's not much difference between the two. So we are going to start with a chain, and just my husband walking around in the background. First thing in the morning, we're getting ready, and I'm trying to be warm before we go outside. Okay, so now this is how I do my little slip knot, is I just stick my finger in there and I twist it, and I come down and I grab that tail, hold on to both of them, and I pull it up. That's my slip knot. And it works for me. Okay, so we are going to do a chain. We want this chain to be loose, and we don't have a bigger hook to go up. So we want to make sure we don't do this too tight. So as we do our chain, I pull up a little bit. Do the chain, just pull up a little bit on each stitch so that it's just a little bit looser. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work this chain until we have the width we want for our scarf. or cowl. In my case, it's going to be a cowl. Okay, so here's where we're at. Let's see, so I'm going to do a cowl, and I think that's going to be a good width. So that's going to be what I'm at, and I'm going to do 2 more stitches because I'm going to do double crochet. So basically we just chain 2. So now I'm going to go back. So here's where we are, and I'm going to go back to here. So 1, 2, I'm working in that 3rd loop because I want my chain to be too high. Two chains high. not too high. Okay, so we're going to work double crochet, and not splitting the stitch. We're going to do a double crochet into each one of these chains across. So let's see how many I even ended up with. That's 2, 3, 4. You guys could hear me count again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oop. Oh, come on. And 11. So mine is 11 wide. And now, if we give a little tug here, because we pulled that extra little bit, you can see our bottom is not too tight. So now we're at the end. We're just going to, now you could do a standing stitch if you know how to do that, but we're doing this super simple thing. So if you're not into that yet, we're just going to chain 2. We're going to turn our work, and we're going to work across. So now this chain is going to count as your stitch. So you're not going to work into the base of this stitch. If you do, your work's going to start doing this, and we don't want that. So you're going to work into that next little hole right there, our next stitch. And if you count, then you'll notice that that chain stitch and your other stitches, you're going to equal back up to that amount of stitches you started with. So we're going to work across. My husband's watching me back here. He's eyeballing me. Now he's talking to me. Okay, so we're almost to the end here. We get to the end, and okay. Now, it may look like we're at the end, but you can see we have to go to 1 more over. That was our chain. We need to go 1 more over, otherwise this is going to be shaped funny. And again, if you've been counting, you'll be able to count and know that's where your next stitch is at. It's awkward when you're holding it up in front of you and not the way you would normally hold it. Okay, so there's our set. So we're going to keep doing this thing, same thing, chain 2, and we're going to work across, chain 2, work across, and we're going to keep going until we get it either the full length we want in our scarf or the amount that we want for that cowl. When we get to that point, if we're doing a cowl, then pretend like this is a miniature version of this long cowl. It's going to get brought together. Now, normally you would stitch it. We don't have a needle. So we are going to actually put it together like this, and we're going to single crochet across, which is what will finish it off. So I will come back to you when I get to that point, but that's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep working on this until I get it to where I need it. And it may be a different background because it may be later in the day. I think we're going to go get some breakfast, but at least I've already got my warm hat to wear, and I will have this in a little bit to wear. So I will come back and show you guys exactly what we're doing. But in the meantime, just keep working until you get that length you want. And if you're only doing a scarf, then you're just gonna work that long rectangle if you want, finish up your yarn, and then you're just gonna finish it off basically the same way we did here. But if you're doing the cowl, then stay tuned. I will come back and I will show you what to do. Okay. Okay, so I went and I ate breakfast and worked on it while I was there, and we've been driving and I've been working, and I've gotten to the end of my yarn. And I don't know that I could do a whole nother row and still have enough to finish it off, so I'm just going to stop where I am, and hopefully this will be big enough for what I'm wanting. And I'm also going to, so like if I'd done it half the size, half this width, and done a scarf, it would be, you know, twice as long. But what I am going to do is the cowl, and you could just join it and have one loop like this. I'm going to twist it and make an infinity. So here's straight up, and I'm gonna just turn this like this, and that's the way I'm gonna work it. And the tail is now over here, but we're gonna work over that tail even though it is all the way over there. I'm just gonna bring it across, and I'm still gonna work right over that. So that's one less that I have to weave in. And we are also going to do a single crochet. So I'm turning this work, and I'm going to come into this corner right here, and I'm going to grab that loop and pull it through. So now my loop's all the way over here. Bring that tail back over, and that tail, I happen to have a tail that's like the whole length, so that's going to make it even that much easier to start working over it. So I'm going to hold it right there, and I'm going to do a single crochet. So I'm going to work a single crochet into each stitch across. It stays lined up. So you could have easily, like I said, done this half the width. This just happens to be with the size skein of yarn I got too. If I'd gotten a smaller one, I might have needed two to be able to do the hat and the scarf, and I was banking on this one being big enough to do both things. Oh, see, it's a good thing I didn't do another row. I'm gonna have just barely enough to do this last stitch. Let's see, I might have to just slip it. Yep, I slipped it all the way through. Okay, there is my join, and it actually probably could have gone one further, but that's where it's at. So now I can just weave that into there and then flip that back. So now you see, instead of that, that'll go on the inside, this is on the outside. And I'm going to leave this section smooth, so that'll go to the back of my neck, and then the twist will be at the front. So let's see if it'll work. Ooh. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, pull my hair out. There we go. Look at that. Get it so you can see it all now, because I had the camera on the dash. There we go. My nice little cowl. That'll keep me nice and warm there with my hat. I think that worked pretty good. What do you guys think? Super, super simple. That's like the easiest you could do, I think, of doing a hat and a scarf, or hat and cowl combo. And I mean, all we had was the yarn, the crochet hook, and some scissors, and we did it. I think it came out great. What do you guys think? Okay, I hope you guys like that. If you did, please click like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all again soon. Bye.